So now from text prompts to multimodal directives, the prompt becomes a situation, not a paragraph. The prompt is no longer just text. Modern models accept more than written instructions. Images, files, and audio shape understanding. The prompt becomes a full situation. Meaning is distributed across different modalities. Why multimodality changes everything? Humans think visually and spatially, not just in text. Text only prompts are lossy in nature. So, context richness increases the accuracy of the prompting. Ambiguity drops sharply when you are using multimodality. Images as first class instructions. Screenshots replace long explanations of the same thing. Photos convey real world constraints that the context has to work within. Diagrams compress complex intent, and visual grounding reduces hallucination on the part of LLMs. Prompting by showing, not telling. Fix this becomes pointing at an image, and the LLM is able to understand what is to be fixed. Design feedback becomes concrete. Errors are localized visually in terms of vision and audio. Less verbal precision is required. Files as embedded knowledge. PDFs replace summaries. Spreadsheets replace descriptions that you need to put in otherwise. Logs replace the narrative explanation trying to sum up the events that has happened one time with timestamps. The model reads the source truth directly. Prompting with real data. So live documents anchor the responses in real time. Domain jargon is inferred and not explained. Less prompt engineering overhead is required in this case, and higher trust outputs will be returned by the models, LLM models. Audio as a context, the tone conveys the intent of the message. Emotion becomes a part of the prompt, which was not possible with text. Speech captures the urgency and the nuance of the situation. Accessibility improves dramatically when you're using multimodal input. From commands to scenarios, you present an environment. The model infers the goals right from the environment, so you don't have to break it down. Instructions become implicit, it is conveyed within the environment. Less micromanagement is needed on our part. Multimodal prompts reduce the prompt length. So, one image can replace a whole paragraph. A one file can replace all assumptions that you put in text. One diagram can replace frameworks in one go. Brevity is also possible with precision. UI screenshots as instructions. Improve this with a visual reference, a photo or image. Bug reports become visual in nature. Design critic becomes grounded. And there is no need to describe layouts when you can directly give it a screenshot of a layout. Multimodal prompting in education. Students show work and they don't have to describe it. Concepts explained just via diagrams. Feedback becomes targeted, so it is exactly where it is needed. Learning becomes experiential. So you learn as you keep experimenting, as you keep going with it. Multimodal prompting in coding. Error screenshots accelerate the debugging rate. Architecture diagrams can now guide your solutions. Logs reveal the hidden issues that were not previously visible. There is less back and forth clarification required because the LLM now has direct access to all the multimodal information. Multimodal prompting in design, references styles visually. There is critique of aesthetics directly. Maintain the visual consistency across multiple frames and communicate taste and not just rules. Failure modes without multimodality. So intent can be misinterpreted by the models. Assumption heavy outputs will create the outputs which are the models have to assume a lot of the input. Overly generic responses generated by the LLM. Excess clarification cycle, so you have to clarify again and again and again, no multi-shot, just to get a simple output. Multimodal prompts as constraints, so reality limits the creativity of the prompt. Constraints improve the usefulness, so now you know that this response will be in response will fit with all the constraints of the environment. The model adapts to what exists at present, and the output is less speculative in nature. The prompt becomes itself a workspace. Artifacts accumulate over time, so context compounds, less re explaining is needed. Continuity replaces repetition in terms of input. Skill shift for users. So capture the right artifacts instead of just trying to massage the prompt in the right text or language. Choose the right modality. Use different text when it is needed, when image is needed, or when code is needed. Images, architecture diagrams when needed. Curate the context intentionally and stop over explaining in text. Rather, use multimodal inputs. The future prompt will be less typing. It will be more showing the LLM what you exactly want it to do, more situational awareness, and higher leverage in terms of interaction. Higher leverage interaction in nature. The key takeaways from this lecture: the best prompt is actually the best context. Multimodality is context compression. Advanced models will thrive on richness of the prompt provided and the multimodal input, multimodal directives. Prompting becomes environmental design actual in actuality. With that, we'll close this one. Then we'll go to single prompts to prompt programs, the next one.